You put you on the 10 too. It's okay.
It's Sajag.
Sajag!
We have D. Jeff Smith with us.
Chocolate goodness right there.
What's up?
Jeff might be the coolest dude in audio.
Nah. I'm just some guy.
Right now, it looks like he's got the max headroom thing going on. So.
Oh yeah, I dig it though. It kind of fits. It kind of fits the show, doesn't it?
100%. So for those guys just tuning in, if you don't know what this is Side Jag, a man's perspective. And though I say men's perspective, we're gonna have women on here. I just needed a title, so it's a guy's perspective on movies and life. So we're gonna talk about movies. We have an assignment every week. We're going to talk about snacks that go along with the movies. And just whatever else happens to pop up on the screen that we think is interesting. So it's a total self-serving movie thing that we're doing. And we want to have a guest every week. First guest out of the gate, as Hi-Fi said, none other than Mr. Jeff Smith. So for those of you guys don't know, Jeff Smith has 3 favorite movies, and I asked him these the other day. Some of you guys might have caught that, but for those of you that didn't, I would love for him to repeat what his 3 favorite movies are, just because, hey, it's a show about movies. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
Man. So, Smokey and the Bandit, it's just a classic. I mean,
I'm not judging. Not saying a word.
Yeah, Smokey and the Bandit is just one of those movies that is a mixture of so many different stories. It's a comedy, it's an action movie, it's a slight rom-com, and
I would give it a rom-com,
right? And it's mixed in with a bunch of politically incorrectness that's just like classic, right?
You could never make that movie.
It'd be quite different. It'd be quite different.
There's so many movies you could never make today. Like
Jackie Gleason.
Oh. Animal House could never be made.
Right. Like I forget who was I talking with you, Demon, about this?
Probably.
Like you could never make Blazing Saddles ever again in life.
No.
Never again in life. And be in the movie theater? Yeah. Like you could never do that these days. Like
dude, that scene.
The sheriff is dumb. Yeah.
Oh. One that got me was, have you guys watched Revenge of the Nerds lately?
No.
They make new ones?
No. The old movie, though.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that in
There's
years,
a scene in there where he sneaks in under the guise that he's someone else in the dark and has sex with that woman. Like, dude, that's rape.
Yeah.
That's rape, my dude.
Yeah.
Like, yo.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, it's Snow White. It's unwanted kiss.
Yeah, man.
Saves her life, but hey, she didn't ask for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Smokey and the Bandit, Beat Street, because it was just
popping and rocking all over the street.
It was a movie that I grew up in, so I was still living in New York at that point in time, and that was like a way of life, and it was just like this is us,
Dude, I remember that movie specifically because when that movie came out, I was in the Boy Scouts and we were going somewhere and we were staying on an Air Force base. And that night we went to the Air Force Base Theater and we all watched Beat Street. And I just remember because like the adults were like, what are we going to watch? We're like, we're going to watch Beat Street. Woo! Yeah. And we're all super excited. And I just remember the adults leaving going, what was that? What was this crap? And we're all just like, you never see, unorganized white guys trying to dance. Here we go.
Yeah, it was great, man. I've watched it a gajillion times. So yeah.
Can you watch it now though? Could you watch it
still? Now? Like if it's on, that's it. Like
you're watching it.
Like blinders on. Like
man. Yeah. Okay.
And then of course Shawshank Redemption.
That was the one.
That's a heavy movie.
That movie it's a story of righted injustice. You know, it's those movies where, you know, they say, you know, I'm gonna stick it to the man, you know. I mean, it was just one of those movies where it was like, it was so ingenious, the entire plot, the entire story. You know, most jail movies are all that way. Like another one that's not, it's still a good movie and I like it, but it's a little weird to me a little bit. It's The Green Mile.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
Green Mile is a good movie.
Yeah, that sci-fi twist on it just kind of like, okay, no, Shawshank is definitely, and I love the narration in it. You know, Andy Bouchang crawls through his own shit.
One of the best parts to me of that movie is when Red got out of prison and he was literally thinking, what can I do to go back to prison, because that's all I know.
Right. That
like,
was
he's working at the grocery store bagging groceries, and he went to ask the manager, can I go pee? And it's like, you don't have to ask me to go pee. That was his mentality, is so the system of prison that he couldn't even be a free man, you know?
Yeah.
So
but it was a great ending. I mean, the whole movie start to finish, even today, like you can watch that, and if you can get past the whole Patrick is the head guard, you know, because I mean, you know, SpongeBob. Then I mean, you just love the unveil of that movie at the end is just like, oh, hell yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know? And okay, the only like, come on guys, really, is at the end where it's like he somehow is working on a boat just randomly on the coast, and Morgan Freeman knows that if he just starts walking, hey, there's not a soul around for miles and miles and miles, but some dude's chilling on a boat. Like, hey, you want a Corona?
It was like when he's walking on the beach, it's like one of those what's the commercials when the two people be running on the beach for each other, and all of a sudden, you know, they this big hug.
Like the Bo Derek thing. The Bo Derek.
So that's exactly what I want to do. I want to go to a foreign country. No, he was like on the coast. Was he in Mexico? Was he like?
Yeah, he was in Mexico.
Yeah, it's like that's what I want to do. I want to go to Mexico and live the rest of my life with my cellmate. That's what I want to do. Get out of jail. I don't want to find my family. I don't want to do anything else. But I want to go live with my cellmate. Like. Okay, but the movie's great, right? The movie's great. So
I mean, and honestly, now when you think about it, you're like, maybe it sucked because that ending sucked.
No, I mean it's good, dude. There's some other movies, man, that like I got conned into watching this one movie. I was dating this girl, and God, this was mid-90s.
It was a time ago.
Yeah, it was mid-90s, and we just wanted to go and like hang out, and we went to the movies and. Okay, that movie sounds interesting. Didn't realize I was going to be there for 4 hours.
What movie was that?
Is that Lord of the Rings or something?
I've never seen a Lord of the Rings movie.
Wow, those are good.
Really? No.
I watched them on airplanes.
It's Schindler's List.
Oh, God. No.
First movie I've ever been to, like in a movie theater, where there was an intermission, and I was like, "What?
Can we come back later for part 2?
Do we leave?" And
God.
I'm like, "What?"
Yeah,
I didn't know what to do, and I'm like, and I went and asked the guy at the ticket counter. I'm like, "It says intermission." He goes, "Yeah, that movie is really long." And I'm like, "What?"
Might want to grab a water, bro.
Another 2 hours? Like, yes, it was another 2 hours. Like, wow.
I've only watched that movie in bits and pieces. I don't. You know, that's an airplane movie, and only if I want to go to sleep. You know,
first time 4 hours, and I was just like, yo, and I've probably watched it a good 10 times since then.
Really? God.
I can watch movies, man.
That's a date. That's a hell of a date movie, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
Yeah. If you're not making out in the back seat of that theater.
Yeah.
So the first movie soon I ever went and saw was a movie called Pacific Heights. Had had Michael Keaton in it as like a serial killer in San Francisco or something
Oh, I
like
remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. She goes, I want to go see this movie, Pacific Heights, and we had just started dating, and I was like, yeah, man, whatever you want to do, sure. So it was Pacific Heights. This was our first date. Actually, this was our first date. Went and watched Pacific Heights and went to Denny's.
I mean,
Denny's.
good times.
Denny's got some cheese sticks, bro. Yeah.
Did you get the Everyday Value Slam?
No, I got cheese sticks, man. Denny's cheese sticks were the shit.
Yeah, they actually are.
We don't have any more Denny's around here.
Oh, they closed the last one and bought them all.
Yeah, now it's going to be a storage facility because we need more of those.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be storage. Yeah. Right on 19, a storage facility. Okay, sure. That's what we need. But yeah, that was an interesting first day because I was like, I mean, no, it doesn't hold a candle to 4 hours of Schindler's List.
That's
like,
pretty hardcore.
That's like, damn, me, I'm like, hey, let's go watch Predator. I mean, that sounds like a way cooler thing.
I think I had to watch. I watched the Titanic. The guy that done Avatar. What's his name?
Yeah. Michael, whatever. Not Michael Bay, the other one.
No.
Yeah, he's coming out with a new one with the whales. That's coming out here soon.
Yeah, but we watched that. So yeah, that was
Titanic.
Yeah, the Titanic.
Yeah, Titanic's a good movie.
Okay, here's a question for you: who has gone to the movie theater to see a Disney movie without kids? So we'll think like Aladdin, Lion King, any of those pre-kid movies.
I'm trying to think.
My
count.
My ex-wife loved Disney movies. So yes, we've
seen them all, haven't you?
I went and saw Lion King and Aladdin by myself in the theater in the back corner, luckily it was old guy day because it was like free popcorn old guy day. So it was like,
just you and Pee Wee Herman was helping do it.
No, if Pee Wee Herman was 70, yeah, I was sitting next to him. He kept hitting me in the arm.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, man?
You want some of my jujubes, son?
Yeah, what is that come with a creamy white sauce? I mean, no. I want extra butter on mine.
You want to stick your hand in my popcorn?
Yeah, exactly. You got the hole in the popcorn.
What's the old guy's name from the Simpsons? The creepy neighbor. That's is it the Simpsons? Yes.
No, it's Family Guy.
Oh, yeah, Family Guy.
You got to fish. I got something for you in my pocket. You got to fish it out.
Hey, how you doing? You want to come over and wash my car?
Yes.
I do have a question.
Yes.
That I figure I'll just ask every guest because I've asked a lot of people this. They have not watched this movie. Do you like Forrest Whitaker?
Yes.
No.
Have you ever seen Ghost Dog?
Yes.
I'm not the only person that's seen it. I'm not the only person that's seen it.
Good movie.
Forrest Whitaker is a ninja in this movie, Dean.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll have to watch it then.
We might have to add it to the list.
Oh, for sure.
I can't even remember if it's a good movie. I just remember the movie.
All right. Let me throw this out. Here's my story on why Forrest Whitaker will always hold a place in this guy. So when I was a kid, obviously, the Crying Game came out, and as a young person, everyone was like, "Dude, the Crying Game! Did you see the Crying Game? Oh my god!" And you're just like, "What are all these adults saying?" Like, it won Academy Awards. It was like, dude, they're crying it. So there again, summertime, got HBO kicking. It's 2:00 in the morning. The Crying Game comes on, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch this. I get to find out the secret.
Adult. Yeah,
I'm gonna answer this question. That's a question I didn't want answered back then. I didn't need that one answered. I didn't need to be. There was one of those reasons why they say this is for adults. You guys, you're not ready for this. I did not have the appropriate keys for the city on that one.
Yeah.
When that came out, I go,
yeah, that was, yeah.
I could have been sleeping. I stayed up for that. Oh, that was the big unveil? Really? Oh my God. I can never unsee that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's okay. And the other one was another one of those that I was like, oh my God, was Deer Hunter. Did you ever see Deer Hunter?
I didn't see that.
Dude, that's straight up 70s, Vietnam War era, Like, not a movie you need to watch, but there's a scene in that movie where the guy falls off a helicopter and lands in the water, and it's like big compound fracture. You know, crazy. It's that psychedelic 70s town movie, and it was just like, I was just like, but everyone's like, dude, did you see the deer hunter? I was like, oh, Dad's a deer hunter. What does that mean? Oh, maybe I should watch this movie. Oh, wait, it's about like after Vietnam. Oh, this is really bad. Too young, not understanding it. You know.
Oh, I got one of those suggestions from the video store girl. So we're in there looking for a movie, me and my buddy, and she suggests you. I don't know if you've seen it or not. I Spit on Your Grave.
No.
Have you seen it, Dean?
No.
Okay, so she suggests this. We take it home. I watch it. It's a movie about a woman that is raped by 6 or 7 like hillbilly hunter type guys.
Okay.
And then she goes back. She survives it. They think she's dead. She goes back and kills every single one of them.
Okay.
And it's a very graphic movie. And I went back and I was like, yeah, I don't think I'll be asking you for any more movie suggestions. Like,
no shit.
Yeah, that's like
tell me what movies I shouldn't watch.
Yeah,
that's like the first time. So I had a cousin who was big into kung fu movies, and there was a whole series. I can't remember the name of them, but got me thinking now. But anyway, so Blockbuster Video. Walk into Blockbuster Video, and same thing, asking one of the people that work there, hey, you guys have so-and-so and so-and-so? And he's like, yeah, this is a different series of those movies, but it's called Faces of Death.
Oh, God.
So you guys should check this out.
No. Oh, my God. That's not a kung fu movie.
Oh, my God, dude. I'm like, wow. This is so not what I thought it was going to be.
No.
But let's watch the next one.
Gotta watch them all. They're like Pokemon. You gotta collect them all.
I saw one of those in a movie theater once. Like, you guys, like, hey, we're gonna go see Faces of Death, and I was like, yeah, because it was like
it the one where they put the monkey in the table.
That's the scene everybody remembers.
I honestly have no idea, because it was one of those things where it was like, this was my sister's boyfriend or husband or whatever it was. Like, hey, you want to go to the movies? Like, yeah. I was like, I'm gonna go see Faces of Death, and I was like, okay, I'm in. Let's go. I've never seen one of these. Everyone says they're awesome. I got to see one. Yeah. And the whole time I'm just sitting there like this.
Yeah.
Pretty graphic.
I'm glad.
Yeah, did you know the monkey scene was fake?
It was all fake.
It was fake?
Yeah. So they had,
I don't know if it looked super real. So,
well, a lot of those scenes were real. A lot of those scenes were real, but the guy that done it was on This American Life. They done a whole podcast on Faces of Death. Mm-hmm. And he got these death scenes, like he was getting them from news stations and all this stuff, but he didn't have enough to make a full movie. So he had to add in, make his own scenes. And the monkey one was one of the scenes he made. It looked totally real. I thought it was real until I heard that podcast.
So the one guy asked, have you seen the last Blockbuster, Jeff?
No.
So there's a movie on, I think it's on Netflix. It's called The Last Blockbuster. And it's the story of it's the documentary of the last Blockbuster still in existence, and it's still open. It's still there. Really? Oh, hell yeah!
Where is it?
Alaska, Fairbanks, Alaska.
No, it's the other one. It's
Oregon.
Yeah,
I forget. Bend, Oregon.
Bend, yes, Bend, Oregon. Yep, Bend.
That's crazy.
It's
like,
dude,
that would be something like I've tried to explain that to my kids like multiple times. Like, okay, you know this thing, by every time we get ready to go on a road trip, right? We're gonna stop by this machine next to the CVS at the corner of Belcher, right? Yeah. We're gonna stop at the CVS and hit up the red box and grab a DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, and it's like, wait a minute. They don't understand video stores, right? They barely understand VHS tapes. Period. Right? Oh, yeah. And it's like, God, man, things have changed so much. Like, I can dial up a movie from my phone and plug it into the car, and they can watch it. But I remember when we were selling VHS players into vehicles.
Oh yeah. For sure. Well, you know, it's funny. The Blockbuster was right down the street from where you live right now. So, you know, you know where Jimmy John's used to be?
Mm-hmm.
That was Blockbuster. That
Oh,
whole
wow.
corner, that whole building with the ear place and all that, that was Blockbuster. That was
Okay,
Saturday night, man. That parking lot was like,
get you a Delco's and a VHS tape.
Yeah.
oh yeah, oh for sure, right? Oh yeah, because Delco's was actually in a different location in there before. So, but yeah, that was the Blockbuster. Oh my god, it was. But yeah, no, it's an awesome documentary for sure. We watched it 2 weeks ago, I think. But
Yeah.
with that documentary, we picked a documentary this week, and everyone had to do their homework assignment. So, Framing Britney Spears.
Right.
Do you want to give the overview, or do you want me to give the overview? Because I don't even know where to begin.
I have more to comment about this situation over the documentary. I have more comments on that.
So the situation is the overview of the documentary. This is okay. So Britney was never in the documentary. No one from Britney's camp is in this documentary. This documentary is 100% taken from the perspective of what was it, the Wall Street Journal?
New York Post.
New York Post. So this is them doing an investigative story into the life and happenings of Britney Spears from day one to present day now. None of this stuff, the only substantiation they can give is on court documents, public filing, things that she has said in public, but nothing from private. Some people that know her talked in this documentary. So everything that the documentary talks about, there are some things that are speculation. Seems pretty much likely by the speculation they give, but as an outsider looking in, I always feel when you're looking at a documentary like this where the actual individual doesn't talk, you have to kind of take everything from like, okay, it's true to a point, but from our point of view, it's totally Obi-Wan Kenobi here. So with that being said, it kind of plots the course of Britney's rise to fame, where she came from, and then the fall that we all witnessed when she shaved her heads, when she had her kids, and just the despair that was happening around her life, and that what led her father to come in and do what seems to me one of the most heinous things ever. And then it kind of, MTV got in and they wanted to show how like her dad was cool, and they did the whole MTV show. But it seems to me the spin they were trying to put it at that point was how Britney is living a life like a jailed life almost, that has certain freedom, but she's a hostage to this, but not to feel sad because it's almost a situation that she walked herself into. So with that being said, that's the overall the overall thing for it. Would I recommend watching it? It's a good watch just on the premise of, oh my gosh, I can't even believe this exists. Like this could happen to a person. And I guess the correlation of this would be the movie that's called I Care. Did you guys watch that movie that came out on Netflix called I Care? It's about the lady that like does this basic thing to the old people to take all their money.
Oh, I got it on the list. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. Fernando's watched it when I was describing this. He goes, dude, that's just like the movie I Care. I was like, yeah, but this is real.
Yeah, she goes in and takes over all these people. Yeah.
And like she takes over like some mob bombs. Anyway,
and then they wind up kidnapping her and everything else.
I haven't watched it. Apparently you have.
Yes, it was good.
You were supposed to be tuning your car, not watching movies. All right, so who wants to go first?
I can go. So, like you said, this is very skewed. I think most of what they're saying is true, but most documentaries, you kind of want to have it left up to you to decide what happened. And in this one, they definitely tell you what you think, and it does ring true. But I knew every individual part of this, but the way they put it together, I didn't know that it was this deep, and it was like this free Britney thing going on, and
it definitely established a really good timeline.
Yeah, and it got so deep that at the end, I'm like, oh, obviously, her dad is controlling this situation. She wanted a third party to be, a bank to take care of her finances. Obviously, he's leeching money off her. And there's the crazy ex-employee. I mean, she seems kind of zany.
Oh, the
I don't
lady?
know. Yeah, the lady.
Was her like?
She was her assistant in the beginning.
Yeah,
that's the title they gave her.
Right, because her mom couldn't go traveling with her. So
right. So
hired
I'm
a
like,
friend.
you know, here she's the hired caregiver, and she becomes like a family member, aunt / close cousin-ish, you know, because hey, my parents can't do this, but you go travel with our kid all over the world, you know.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't do that?
When the dad shows up at the last minute, you know, he's just like Johnny come lately, like, oh, she's made this money and now I can get a little piece of my pie right now.
Okay, so the one thing that I thought was weird is like you watch the arc before he got involved and you watch the arc after he got involved, and it seemed to me she's way more successful after he got involved.
Well, you also have to kind of, I guess my thought process was, I mean, she had matured at that point in time, right?
Okay.
She had been through a few ups and downs, and she kind of knew what to do in order to make money. You know, she's a little bit more motivated now. She's a mom and she's thinking about putting away money for the future. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, but it was,
you got to stock up that 36 million.
Yeah.
It burns quick.
I mean, they said making $1 million was it a week?
A week.
$1 million a week in Vegas with her residency, right? Because it was the #1 show in Vegas. Yeah. And her dad was getting, what did they say, 1.03% of everything she made?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll take that deal.
Yeah. Like all I'm doing is living my life over here.
And telling you what to do.
Yeah. So crazy.
Did you have any other thoughts on it?
What was your thought on it, Jeff? You were getting excited when I talked to you today, so lay it out on me. Give it to me.
Okay. All right. So when you first asked me about this, I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. Cool. Yeah, I'm down. And then the movie, I'm like, I literally know 3 things about Britney Spears, right? Britney Spears might as well have been like Conway Twitty to me, right? So, other than what she looks like,
deep
right? right. Other than like what she looks like and Hit Me Baby One More Time, and I watched her on Saturday Night Live, which I love Saturday Night Live. And it's like I've never like really listened to her music, right?
Yeah.
Just wasn't my cup of tea. Not saying that I don't listen to pop music, but she just wasn't my cup of tea. She was too main for me, right?
Yes.
So this documentary, going into it, right? I just went into it blind, and I'm watching it, and it was like, I get it. So for me, it was a story I'm not gonna say I lived it, but I had clients who lived this life, right? And in certain parts of the story, it stuck out to me that you've heard this story in many variations over the years where child stars grow up in the industry and then they lose their shit, right? Because they've never been able to be kids.
Lindsay Lohan,
right?
Hillary Duff,
right?
Who got
Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman, Amanda Bynes.
Right. So I mean,
they're the ones I know.
Yeah, so they've never been able to be kids, and they want that outlet. They kind of want to be themselves. Sometimes they want to unplug from celebrityism, right, and just be a regular person. And they can't, especially at the level she was at. She could never be a regular person. She could never go to the 7-Eleven and be a regular person.
Yeah, we saw what happened when she tried to do that.
Right. So, I mean, it's just one of those things, So as she's growing up and maturing, and then of course the industry has their field day with her, and it all starts to take a toll on her as a person. Nothing to do, in which turned into backlash to her career. Right. So I literally saw it as the as the caged zoo animal. Never been in the wild, never been able to just roam and run and do all this stuff, just poked with a stick every night to do whatever she's supposed to do. And when real life things start to happen, she becomes a mom, has a bad relationship with Timberlake, and well, she had a bad relationship with Timberlake first, and Timberlake's off running his mouth trying to be big shot and everything else.
Yeah. Man, I had
And
sex
then,
with her, bro. I blanked her down.
Yeah. And then,
I made sweet love.
Then here comes K-Fed, and loser, gets pregnant by this loser. And yeah, I mean, she's a country girl, dude. I mean, she's from what was Kentwood, Louisiana, right? So she had an idea of what wholesome life was supposed to be. And she tried to keep that image for a while, but it's like she fell in love with
too much, man.
She fell in love with the stardom. I mean, she got it. I mean, she was a great superstar, and then life happened.
Yeah,
and I mean that's down. Literally, and the world, like how it is they just ate her alive. That one scene when what's his name, the Anderson Cooper, and then the old guy, what was his name? He died last year.
Oh yeah, Larry
King.
Larry King.
Yeah, Larry King, and then the other guy's like, why don't we just let her live her life? Yeah, it's like, let's let her live her life. Like, let's get out of her life and let her have time when she got out of hospital. And they're like, no, get the cameras in her face. Get the cameras in her face.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, dude, she jacked up that car, man. She went ham with that umbrella on that guy's car, man.
Yeah. I actually forgot about that until it happened. I was like, dude, this really happened.
Yeah. I mean, you just watched it. I mean, the sad thing from that perspective, like watching all of that was the good part of the documentary, because it's like these are all things, and we're just going to lay them out in front of you. Now, what's going on behind all of this, we never got to find out. Like, they kind of told a little bit of story from what they could put together, but like we never got to hear. It would be really neat to hear Britney's or somebody that was with her's perspective on all of it. So we were just left to wonder what this was. And what really, so there's a documentary called the Cecil Hotel, or the Cecil Hotel. It's a 4-part series on Netflix. I don't recommend watching it, but what made that really an interesting watch was not the documentary. The documentary was just long and boring, but they took the documentary from 3 perspectives. They took it from the hotel owner, from the cops, and from the public that was watching what the cops were doing and what the internet was saying. So you had the people in the hotel that knew what was going on. You had the cops that knew what was going on. And you had these internet trolls that didn't know what was going on. They had about a quarter of the puzzle. And they were just out there ruining lives. Like just destroying stuff. And the story, and so this documentary was just telling what happened to this poor girl, but also exposing to you, like, hey, you didn't know all the story, and look at the damage you did.
Right.
So watching this Britney documentary just kind of made me think the same thing. It's like I don't know what she's thinking. We never got to hear Britney say this. We can assume that she doesn't want to be part of it because she's suing her dad.
Right,
to get out of the situation, so we can assume that she's not happy, but we never got to hear her go, yeah, this sucks,
Yeah.
And the dude, here's the scary part. If you think about this for a minute, at any point in her life, her dad could walk into the room with 2 guys in white coats and be like, let's go.
Yeah.
And like, dude, that's scary as shit. Like, we see that in a movie, and we're like, oh my God, dude, like they're not believing the girl that's sitting there going, dude, he's a killer. He's a killer. No, you're all right. You're all right. He's a killer. As he's pulling knives and stabbing the 2 guys in the back. And they're like, oh, maybe she wasn't crazy. But this is real life. This is somebody that is living this. That scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, to lose that amount of control. Holy shit, that is just so bad.
She has no control over life at this point, besides what she can do in her house. Because at any point, like they said, her finances are controlled. They never got into how controlled they are. who
Well,
she
she has total control over her credits. I mean, he can literally cancel her credit cards at any time.
They even had control over who she could speak to or have over at her house as a guest.
And also who she performs with, because they can actually make gigs for her and set them up that she would have to go to. So
this is one of the things me as a father, like the father side of me kicked in at a point in time, besides the decent human being part of me, the dad side kicked in. Yep. And it was like, why would I ever want to do this to my kid?
Right.
Like, yes,
I'm harming my relationship with my kid and my grandkids. More like, is money really that important? Like in one of the scenes early on in the movie, you know, the assistant lady, she said, you know, I remember her dad saying, I want her to be famous enough to buy me a boat.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Know? And I'm like,
apparently is. He bought her a yacht. or she bought him
and
a
I'm
yacht.
like, yeah. And I'm like, that off the rip was like the thought process. That was the first seed planted, that he wants her to be able to just do things for them, right? But I don't know, man. It's dude, there's so many stories. Like watching this documentary made me think of so many different, like you talked about, all the child actors, right? That have just lost it over the years, you know, and they turn into all these bad people later in life because they've never been able to be kids, you know. And Macaulay Culkin.
It's funny. I was just thinking that.
Right? Like he's a kid every holiday. He's a kid almost every weekend. Forever and ever and ever and ever.
Well, it's funny. We were just talking about him. I can't remember who he's dating now. Tipton. London Tipton from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Really?
I think he's dating her. Or he's or I think that I could be wrong, but I think that's what Haley was telling me.
Okay. But man, it's so weird.
Speaking on that, like I was just giving my son, you know, he's a senior this year, he's graduating. I already have a daughter that's in college now, but I'm talking about like how important these grades are to your life going forward. And, you know, he told me, he's like, well, I'm going to make it and I'm going to be rich and I'm going to do all this stuff and I'm going to prove you guys wrong. And I was like, that could literally be the best thing that would ever happen to me.
Wrong,
proving me wrong about you getting bad grades and you still made it. I was like, believe it or not, me and your mom would be extremely happy if you made it, whether you gave us $1 or not. Like our whole goal in life is to have you have the best life possible.
And I don't have to pay for it. I don't want to privately fund your world.
Yeah, that conversation comes around in every involved parent. It comes around in every involved parent's life. You know, it's like, I'll never forget, even me, like I got the conversation of, when are you going to get a real job and stop playing around with these cars?
Oh, dude, it's funny you say that because like Fernando and I talk about that all the time. You know, it's like, because you can't understand that. And it's like, okay, that's not a thing, but whatever.
Yeah. Like, do you know how much money I make doing this?
All right. So one of the things we like to talk about is, which we can still talk about in the movie, but snacks. Anytime you go to the movie, snacks is the most important thing. So, and you don't have to have eaten the snacks during the movie, but if you were to summarize that movie, like this is the snack you would want to eat while watching that movie. Okay. So we'll start with Hi-Fi because he gets the top corner. What was your snack of choice throughout this?
This was my snack of choice, and this is the snack I ate during the movie. The Snyder's pretzel. They have a seasoning kind of pretzel now.
Yeah,
dude, I destroyed two of the little fun size bags. They were good.
You're a fun size bag family. Did you have a Capri Sun too?
No, I had a Coke Zero. But
okay. No jammers.
Capri Sun, man, you can't beat them.
Oh yeah. He had a Kool-Aid jammer last week. He was like, man, I was jamming my jammer.
Oh no, I remember because I went back and watched Sound of Metal. I was like, wait a minute, you have little kids, but no, you have.
Yeah, I have 2 18-year-olds right now. You know, it's like what they call them Irish babies because they're for 2 months they're the same age.
Yeah.
Do you have yours ready? You want me to go?
No, you go.
Okay, so I actually brought mine in. These are called pink and whites, and they go great because it's Britney, baby. But I know my friend Jeff here doesn't know what a pink and white is. So this is an animal cracker. This is an animal cracker cookie. It's covered in white or pink frosting.
Oh, we talked about this.
Yeah, so it's a shortbread cookie covered in. These are Trader Joe's versions of them because we went to. Have you been to Trader Joe's?
No.
If you haven't been to Trader Joe's, I got to tell you where Trader Joe's is. You guys will love it. Wow. But perfect. Yeah. It's
animal cracker cookies.
Animal cracker cookies, man.
I didn't know I was supposed to bring my snacks.
No, you weren't. We bought a box and I was like, this is what I want. And they were in the refrigerator next to my cup of water. So I was like, all right, I'm going to grab the box.
My snacks are boring.
What are your snacks?
Popcorn. It's going to be popcorn.
Skinny Pop.
What's that? Skinny Pop?
Skinny Pop.
Oh, those
Isn't that what you had last week?
I eat Skinny Pop a lot. So that was grab a bag
I
of
had the
Skinny
Smart.
Pop.
Oh, you had Smart Pops. You had Skinny Pops.
The Smart Pops or whatever they are, the white cheddar ones.
Yeah.
I can't do flavored popcorn.
No?
Oh, man.
Nope. It has to. And I can't do. Even when we used to go to the movie theater, I can't do butter. Like I can't do the pump butter. Like it's
right.
It's got to be regular traditional popcorn. Like I can't do any of the. Don't shake on any seasonings no.
Right.
Pop
no salt or
bag,
anything.
Don't add any. Look, pop it, box, bag, whatever. Hand it to me. That's it.
Trash can,
I don't want. I want it the way it's always been all my life. Like I've seen all types of different things added: seasoning, salt, lemon, pepper. Like no
hot sauce,
regular popcorn. Yeah. No.
Okay.
This is like Dean with the noodles. This is like you with the noodles.
What do you mean?
Yeah, didn't you cook the top ramen different than everybody else? What was it that you cooked? A hamburger helper.
Yes. Yeah. No, it was macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, macaroni and cheese. Box macaroni and cheese.
How do you cook macaroni and cheese?
Well, when I was a kid, we were broke, so we would always just use water. I didn't know you were supposed to put milk in it because milk
to mix the cheese.
To mix the cheese, when you do your Kraft Blue Box macaroni and cheese.
Oh,
my mom always used water. It's what we used, and it wasn't until I was married. And Sue was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm making macaroni and cheese. You're supposed to put milk in it." And I was like, "No, you're not." She goes, "Read the side of the box." And I was like, "This is how my mom makes it." And she goes, "Read the side of the box." I was like, "Well, half a cup of milk." And I was like, "They changed that. It never said that." She goes, "It's always said that. It has never not said that." And I was like, "I grew up using water. You're wrong. It said
and
that."
When you ate it with milk, was it like,
yeah, it was way different. Yeah, it was like, wow, this actually has flavor. Oh, that's pretty weird.
Wow, that's hilarious.
This stuff sucks.
That's hilarious.
Shit. It's funny. I still have like 6 boxes of that under there from Fro. I should make a box with water just to see how it's just to go back and live nostalgically.
That part of I don't know if you've seen Ratatouille. We watch Ratatouille 8 million times in my house. Like it's like water. That's that scene where the food critic eats the Ratatouille and he sees his childhood all over again. that's gonna be Dean with his box of macaroni and cheese through this whole
water mac and cheese.
Oh, for sure, man.
That's like the scene from Friday when he's like, "We're out of milk. Put some water in it."
Yeah, exactly. Well, and so the reason why we didn't waste the milk in the macaroni and cheese was for cereal. I mean, you're not waking up and you don't need milk. You're using powdered. Yeah, I see exactly. But yeah, that's not gonna work, man. Not in my house, man. No, these girls are vicious. So. H2O and mac and cheese. Hell yeah, baby. It's what it's all about. All right. So I watched another movie this week that if you haven't watched and you have Hulu, I would strongly recommend you watch just for the pure entertainment value of it. And if you like video games, you're going to totally dig this.
Last Starfighter.
No. Come on, old guy. It's called Boss Level. Okay.
I wonder if is it an older movie?
What just came out? no,
okay.
like just came out 2020. You know, and it has the guy that's in it that is the star was in Captain America. He was one of the guys that got his ass kicked in the elevator scene. It was kind of like the only guy that had a talking role and in the elevator scene. But either way, it's on Hulu. It's called Boss Level, and it's Groundhog Day, basically, with kick-ass fighting. Okay, so think of it as Groundhog Day. Like every day he wakes up. So every day he gets killed, and every day he wakes up and starts over again. But think of it like Mario Brothers. So you learn, you get to keep what you learned the day before. So you have to make it through the level to win the game. So every day he would die to learn something, or just die because he didn't feel like living anymore, and so he just keeps coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back. And but it's they kind of like 8-bit video game. Like every day it'll pop up on a green screen and say day 197. You know,
wow.
Like, you know. But he's got to work his way through the day because he's got to figure out what happened and why is this happening every day. So
there's another movie like that, just like that on Hulu that I watched.
Okay.
Where he gets repeat in the desert though. It's not a video game.
Oh no. Okay, yeah. This is way cooler. There's no desert. There's no desert. There's a lot of cool guns and violence. So it's like it's not a kid movie and it's not long. So but I think it's probably like an hour and a half. You know, it's like one of those perfect, like you could eat popcorn, regular old popcorn, and enjoy it.
Boss Level. Okay.
Boss Level. Oh, it's awesome.
Palm Springs. That's the name I was talking about.
Palm Springs? Okay.
Yeah. It's got that, what's his name? Andy Samberg.
Okay. Yeah, Mel Gibson is this one. Mel Gibson plays the bad guy. There's a shocker.
Yeah.
No way. Mel Gibson has a bad guy? Oh my god.
I watched a movie.
Okay.
Without Remorse with Michael B. Jordan on Amazon Prime.
Yes, you watched it.
Yeah.
That's the new one. That's the new Tom Clancy movie that just came out. In case you're
I've seen the previews for it.
Yeah, so I haven't watched it either.
It's worth a watch. Michael B. Jordan's a total badass in this movie.
Should we just call him Haley's friend, Michael B. Jordan?
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
What?
So okay.
Maybe we could get him on the show.
I'm thinking she could probably call him. So you know LAX. What airline do you fly out of LAX?
Delta.
Okay, so when you're leaving, when you go up the stairs and you get to the terminal, and then that's the whole thing, and that's where you get stopped every time. So every time I've left LAX, I've gotten stopped there. And so Haley and I get stopped, of course, because we have all the camera gear and shit in our backpacks. Fernando and I got stopped there. But when Haley and I got stopped there, it's me, Michael B. Jordan, and Haley. And Haley's looking at me and looking at Michael B. Jordan. I'm just seeing some dude in a hat. I got no idea. Just sitting there. He's just in a hat. And she's like, I'm like, I don't read lips. She goes, that's Michael B. Jordan. I go, who's he? She goes, Creed, stupid. And I go, oh, cool. Yeah. So they're buddies. They got the nod. He gave her the nod. She kind of looked at him like, I know who you are, and he just kind of gave her one of these. So
yeah. LAX has always been a good airport for me, and Atlanta's airport. So there was a comedian that I love his work. His name's Corey Holcomb, and I was walking through LAX, and you know where Rock and Brews is on the left I don't know if you've been down that way. So Rock and Brews is like right here, and there's another restaurant over here to the right. And it was early in the morning, and he was wasted.
Shocking.
Like tore up. Like he's like, man, I hadn't been to sleep for my show last night. I recognized him. I was like, Corey, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. I just talked to him, just saying hi, because we were that close to each other. And he was like, man, listen, I hadn't been to sleep. I'm still drunk from last night. Like, can you get me some food from this place over here? Like, he's reaching his pocket. I was like, no, it's on me. Right? He's like, you serious? I was like, yeah, man. So what do you want? So what do you want? I went over and got it. He's still there, like waiting and everything. And then I gave it to him, and he was like, you want a picture or something? I was like, no, man. I just literally just dapped him up. I was like, hey, man, love love your work. This is when they were doing Comedy Central. Was it Black Jesus? I think it was.
Oh gosh.
And so we go our separate ways. My fight gets moved to a different gate, and it's the gate next to his gate. And literally, there's probably like 6 or 7 people. He's got his shades on, hat down, and they're like trying to. They recognize him, right? He literally gets up and comes over and sits next to me, and just starts talking to me like he knows me.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, some days I just want to be just regular old Corey, man. And I'm like, I bet. Like, especially like today, like when you're drunk and hungover, where he's like, man, I want to throw up right here. You know, I'm just cracking up. You know? And then he was like, where are you going? I was like, Atlanta. He was like, man, I should go with you. You know? And he was just being like regular old guy for like 30 minutes. And he was like, all right, man, I got to go, man. Appreciate you being real with me today. I was like, all right, cool. You know, see you. Like, that was it. And never get just, that was it. Like, it was super cool. So,
I mean, I mean, we were talking about this on some show. I don't remember which one, but it's like, you know, okay. So, like, if you met somebody famous, what could you possibly talk to them about that would be of value to them? And like, that just proves it. Just being a normal human being and just like, hey, where are you flying? I'm flying here. Oh, yeah, that's a good. I've been there. That's pretty cool. You know, because like here's a guy that's flown all over the world, probably done all kinds of things, met all kind of people, been in situations with drugs and women and poles that you don't ever want to be caught in, or you might. I don't know, you know. And it's like, how do you even relate to tell a story of that? And just having them tell you stories just doesn't sound like fun, although it is. But you know, you have to have that two-way dialogue with them. Like, you know, it's like, I'm going to tell you a story. Now tell me a story. Dude, there was this one time I got up at like 4:00 in the morning to make this brisket on the grill. Oh, let me tell you what, man. And when I walked out, there was this lizard. And I lifted up the grill. This fucker flew out at me and hit me in the face. Bastard, right there in the face. Dude, I shit my pants.
Yeah.
Not really, but I mean, I shit my pants. You know, and then he's over there going, dude, I was like in this casino and there was like the stripper pole and these 2 women. One was upside down. The other one was flipped up right way. And like, you know, and there was cocaine and lights and titties everywhere. And you're going, no, man, this was a lizard, bro.
Yeah.
I forgot popping up.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
movie. Oh, there we go. What happened?
Are we back?
Yeah, we're back. What happened?
I don't know.
Okay, that was neat. Do we know what movie we're gonna watch next week?
Okay, let me share this screen. I have picks for you, so we'll see what which one you're feeling here. So, have you watched Foot Fist Way?
No.
It's a Danny McBride movie. Highly recommend it. Very funny. Then that one's on Prime and Hulu. I have nobody up here, but it's still a rental.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking wait until it goes to so everyone can watch it.
Yeah.
We have Project X, Fast and Furious, Risky Business, Tenet, Social Network, Interstellar, Wolf of Wall Street, Baby Driver, The Shining, and then the other 2 are not out yet.
Okay.
Not for free, anyways.
Gravity? Oh, isn't that movie with the spinning
Sandra Bullock?
Yeah. Seen Snowpiercer, not anything. The cockroach scene was the worst.
That was the best, actually. It was terrible, but it was the best.
Yeah. Stick your hand out the window.
Yeah.
No. Do any of those strike your fancy, Jeff?
Let's see. Superbad I've seen.
Yeah.
Of course, Fast and Furious I've seen. Risky Business. Okay, so Tenet. This has been popping up on my recommended thing for a while.
Tenet?
For at least like 2 weeks or so. Interstellar. Wolf of Wall Street scene. Baby Driver. Don't know anything about that. Shining. The Shining is a classic. Gravity I've seen. Those Who Wish Me Dead.
That's one of those day and date release ones. It's not out yet, but it will be out in a few weeks.
So we'll have to save that one.
Yeah. Tenet sounds good.
Have you seen Tenet yet, Hi-Fi?
I have not.
So we're gonna let you pick, Jeff, to torture us this week, so that we can watch the movie. I figure we'll let the guest pick what we should torture ourselves to watch. Jeff, our great guest, Jeff Smith, has picked Tenet. Thank you,
and
Jeff,
I already have a guest for next week
for torturing us with the movie Tenet. I hate you.
Sorry. Everyone, I mean, people, I'm sure some people out there have seen, I don't know how many people are tuned in watching now, but I'm sure it's a relatively new movie because, I mean, Risky Business, I shouldn't say that. I think most people over the age of 30 have seen Risky Business.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I would say so.
Fast and Furious is like...
That's a classic.
Yes, only the first two.
Oh, yes. I totally agree, dude. I totally agree. That's
after two, hang it up.
Right, like was the best.
Yeah. So yeah.
Full disclosure, I've seen Tenet twice. I watched it back to back. I'm down with watching it again because there's been some time since I've watched it, and I do need to go back.
Is it old?
No. I'm up, dude. It was the only movie out during COVID. Okay, so I gladly paid.
I didn't think it was that old. I thought it was like relatively new.
It is new, but I gladly paid the money to watch it at a premium because it was the only movie out. So I was like, Tenet's out! Oh my god, a new movie!
Yeah, COVID allowed me to watch TV show series. I didn't watch a lot of movies. I watched a lot of series. So.
And that's why I gladly paid for Tenet, because I was tired of watching series.
Yeah, see, I miss so much. When you're going to sleep to get up at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to tune your car, you miss a lot of good TV. So,
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning making these videos for people to watch.
Yeah, it's funny when I'm like, ding, 5 stars live on Instagram. Like, what?
At 2 in the morning?
Yeah, like what is he doing? He's like, I'm waiting for my video to render or doing something. I'm like, wow, that's dedication, man. And then I think I'm like, idiot, your alarm's set to go off in an hour to get up and go listen to your car.
Yeah, exactly. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, trust me, editing life is not a it's a choice, baby. But no, I'm we won't even get into this.
So I have a question.
Fuck. Shoot.
So what is this, May?
Yes.
Yeah, May. So I met Hi-Fi in Dallas a month and a half ago.
Right.
Yeah. Right. First time meeting face to face, right? So first of all, Dean, I didn't realize he was like 8'9", right?
Mm-hmm.
When I saw him walking by, I was like, I was in a car judging, didn't realize who it was when he walked by. Right. So I've watched you on the internet like 50 times. I have no idea what you do for a living. Like what do you like? First of all, what is your real name other than Hifivega? Like you don't have to give me like the full government name because I give people just Jeff Smith and they believe it. So like I know nothing about you.
Oh, okay. This is gonna be good.
Yeah.
So my name is
5 minutes of who you are.
All right. My name is Robert Vega.
Okay.
So that's where the Hifivega come from. And the story on that is back when Hifivega came, actually when I was in high school, I was selling stuff on eBay back when you would mail them a check to pay where you get cash on delivery type stuff.
Oh, wow.
I'd go to flea markets, pick up a lot of, old hi-fi stuff and sell it on there. So I was Hifivega and I just carried that over to YouTube. As far as working, I've been working for a union battery plant for 19 years now. So I make industrial batteries and solar batteries, forklift batteries, all that type of stuff.
So if I need batteries for my forklift,
we just got we got bought. What I could have last year before we changed it up. They downsize, but yeah, we could get discounts on big.
I just keep
solar
pouring distilled water into my forklift every couple months. So
yeah, we do the same. Hey, we work in a battery plant that makes forklift batteries, but we can't get forklift batteries for our forklifts because you know that's our corporation.
You have a real job, so that's commendable. You have a real job outside of this industry, outside of the other industry that we're not really talking about tonight. Got it? Okay.
Yeah.
You have a real job, like you literally like clock in, clock out, and get a paycheck from someone. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah. With 100% healthcare. So I can never. My wife says I can never leave until I die. I either have to die or just.
Well, yeah, that's probably a pretty hazardous environment.
Yeah. There's a lot of lead stuff, and you got to do.
You're saying he's gonna die.
Yeah. Well, you have to. They test your blood every 3 months, and actually, I'm really good because I treat it like the poison it is. But you got to take a shower before you leave. You wear uniforms in there that you don't wear out. Yeah, it's a pretty big ordeal. I've seen the same guys naked for 19 years.
Oh wow!
So there's that.
That's how my mom not naked. But that's how my mom and dad met each other in New Jersey. My dad had a battery. He was a mechanic in the Army. And when he got out, he went to Jersey and a battery exploded in his face. And he was all bandaged up and everything else. And my mom was on the floor of the hospital that day and became his nurse. So
Florence Nightingale.
Yeah, something like that. So.
But yeah, that's why people
never virgin bees.
And then Jeff came along.
Yeah,
chocolate goddess.
Cool. All right. Cool. So you have a real job, and all right. Cool.
Yeah, and I'm a real outsider. That's why I think people like watching me sometimes because like when I'm on Kicker, they're like, "Yo, this dude doesn't belong here," but I know that, so I'm trying to be for those people. Like, hey. I shouldn't be here, but here I am, and I'm opening my mouth like I typically do. So
yeah, you're the hardcore enthusiast. Yeah,
right, exactly.
Yeah, it's funny how like if you have a semi-successful to very successful presence on the internet, YouTube, whatever, Facebook, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, how people automatically think of you as like superstar. You know,
right?
I'm like. Dude, like I literally had a guy who I've met in the last year or so, local guy who's building a competition show car for car shows that he does. And he came and he bought some stuff from me like a year or so ago. And he just came to listen to my car last week. And Dean called me while I was in his car. And I was like, hold on a second, dude. Dean's calling me. And my phone was plugged in there. And my phone was plugged into CarPlay. And dude's like, Joseph's like, oh, Dean's calling you? I'm like, Dean's my bro. What are you talking about? We talk, text, and see each other like 50 times a week. Like it's like nothing. It's like walking outside saying hi to your neighbor. Like it's me and Dean, you know? So but I always forget that there are people who watch the content that Dean creates, you know, and it's like they're at home, like with their skinny pop, you know, watching and just soaking up like everything. And I'm like, dude, I'm some regular guy. Like I need, like my feet stink, my shoes need to be replaced. You know, I got a hole in my sock, you know, and
yeah, underwear are dirty. Yeah.
And I'm really thinking about like, God, can I go? Should I go to Waffle House tonight? Like, I'm like such the regular dude, but like, just because I'm so not trying to be framed like Britney Spears, like I'm just some dude. Like, literally, you know, it's like when Dean makes the I know the Jeff Smith shirts, and when people go, "Oh, dude, that's blah blah blah," you know, and it's like, dude, I'm some regular dude. Like I'm this kid's dad, and like,
oh yeah,
I'm the janitor at work. I'm the like most highly paid janitor in my company. Like I'm the maintenance man. I do training. I put in corners. I get yelled at, and I put water in my forklift batteries. I get yelled at my forklifts right here, and I complain about work to Dean. Dean's like my therapist. So it's like I go to Dean and say, hey, what's up? What's going on? I complain to Dean about work. Dean complains to me about work. I see Dean have his marital fight at work with Paul. And it's like we're all regular people. Yeah. You know, we're all so regular. So
but here's the funny part. If you think about it, I was talking with this Fernando today. These young people now, and like his son and a couple of the others, they all want to be YouTubers. Okay, like they all want to. Like when we were kids, we all wanted to be Harrison Ford. Okay, like we just wanted to be Harrison Ford because he's Han Solo.
Williams.
Okay. You're much better for that than I am.
Lando Calrissian.
I mean, and then again, Billy D. Williams played a great character for you to look and go, damn, that guy, dude, he owns the city. He's suave as shit.
Right?
You know, he's a scoundrel.
He was friends with Vader, yeah.
And he stood up to him. So, you know, so it's like, here's this guy. I mean, why the hell not? I mean, but we all, like, acting was like, oh, that's where it's at. I want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and for that brief moment of your life, you're like, that would be cool. I wonder what it would take to do that. And then you're like, wait, no. That's no. But all these kids now, you know, like Fernando goes, dude, I got so many things on my phone where it's, you know, his son going, okay, guys, today I'm taking the training wheels off my bike and we're going to watch me ride. You guys ready? All right, let's do this. You know,
wow,
it's like,
that's cool.
You know, and it's like, no one's watching. Fernando just got to run there with the phone. But, you know, with TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, it's allowed. People can do this now. Those dreams aren't so far away anymore.
Right.
You know, when I look at the success that our YouTube channels had, you know, we didn't plan for that. We just, you know, we've just been doing what we do, and it worked out, and it's interesting or whatever, and we found an audience. And I mean, I think that's what you do. You just do something, you find an audience, and then you just kind of take it where it goes and run with it.
I think if the world was a regular world and things progressed the way that they would have, I think, like, they don't even have trade schools anymore. You remember they had trade schools back when we were kids, you know?
Yeah.
I think like social media would be something that they would teach in high school, like how to be a influencer. Like that would be like a class in high school and a trade school right now, because so many people
they can't teach you how to balance your checkbook, but I mean, or your bank account.
To get the
I'm sorry, your bank account. It's not a checkbook anymore. It's your bank account.
A crypto class, you know?
Yeah.
Dogecoin, Bitcoin class. Yeah.
I do have a funny, before we go, a funny I Know Dean story. I know Derek from Williston Audio Lab. So a young kid comes up to me, and I just started at work, you know, and he's like, yo, I heard you know Dean from 5 Star and Derek from Williston Audio. He's like, I seen you on his channel. And he was talking about Dean. I was like, no, man, actually, he was on my channel. Like, I have a YouTube channel too, bro. He's like, oh, you got a YouTube channel? I was like, hey, you watched it with Dean was on it? Like, never mind, it's cool. Yeah, I know Dean. I know Derek from Williston Audio Labs. They're cool dudes, man.
Look, I just walk behind. Anytime we're out in Jeff Smith, I just walk behind Jeff Smith. I let him go because everyone wants to talk to him. So they don't even recognize me. They're like, oh, shit, that's Jeff Smith.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I'm with him. I'm with that guy.
I tell people all the time.
If Fernando's there, I don't exist, because it's if Jeff and Fernando are walking side by side, that's a wrecking crew for the ages, because there is nobody that will not recognize those two people in a room. I don't exist other than, hey, where's Dean at?
Yeah. Well, Nando's got the hair, and then Jeff, he's just smooth, man. He's cool. He is Lando Calrissian.
Oh, I know.
He's
dude, if he had a cape. Oh, could you imagine walking on the hard with a cape? I'm gonna get you
A cape and a Colt 45?
I was just saying, I'm going to get you a cape and a Colt 45 and some yellow pants. And as long as you just go, hey, baby, the whole time.
Yeah.
Cloud City, dude, no joke. Cloud City was amazing. Like, it was amazing.
And they pimped it out even more when they.
Hold on. Here's Star Wars, Dean. Where was Cloud City?
God damn it! Why?
Like, what planet was that?
I forgot.
Okay,
I forgot. It's on. I have books all around me, and I'll remember first thing tomorrow. Bespin. It was Bespin.
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 Where was that?
Bespin was a gas planet, and remember, it's not like it's just cities everywhere. I mean,
got it.
It's a galaxy, so Bespin is just one of the many planets in the galaxy.
Got it.
So
Hi-Fi, are you a Star Wars person?
Not Dean level. I'm a normal Star Wars fan.
What makes you think I like Star Wars? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
There's nothing to give the fact that I like Star Wars anywhere in this room. Not a thing.
No.
Nothing at all.
Got it.
Nothing to see here.
Put the green screen over it.
Yeah. I know, it's so bad. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you, Mr. Jeff Smith, for playing along with us tonight. Next week, we'll be reviewing the movie Tenet. You can find us here at 9:45 to when we finish over here on Side Jag. It's been the show, guys. Thanks so much. And we're going to end it here.
Yeah.
Cool. Appreciate you guys having me, man.
Next week, I'm not going to put a booby pic on the thing so it doesn't get all messed up.
No booby pics.
Yeah.
And the show.
Yeah. Bye.
See ya.